Welcome to our third and final In Focus discussion tonight on National Small Business Month. Rounding out our conversation tonight is Javier Palomarez, President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Business Council. And Javier, thank you so much for being here tonight.
How are you, Rosie? Thanks for having me.
Now, I understand the U.S. Hispanic Business Council is new, like a day new. So tell us about its establishment and why there is a need for what the council does.
Well, you know, the United States Hispanic Business Council advocates for the 4.4 million Hispanic-owned businesses in this country that collectively contribute over $750 billion to the American economy. Our role is to call attention to the contributions of our burgeoning Hispanic business community and remind America that we're reporting for work. This is a good news story. It's about the growth of the American economy and how we play a role, a pivotal role in that growth.
National Business Week also coincides with Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the impact and magnitude of the Hispanic business community to our U.S. economy.
Well, as I just said, you know, there's some 4.4 million Hispanic-owned businesses in the nation. We are the fastest growing segment of the American economy. And, you know, I want to commend the station, by the way, for taking time to recognize the importance of American small business, all American small businesses. And as you pointed out earlier in a prior segment, 2/3 of all new jobs in this country are created by our small businesses. So a tip of the hat to you and the team here for recognizing that American small businesses are the engine of the American economy. They are what drives our economy. And within that context, Hispanic-owned small businesses are the fastest growing segment. We are starting new ventures at a rate of 3 to 1 when compared to the general market. So our small businesses, they're sticking to it, they're making it through, they're working together, and they're showing that they are the backbone of the American economy.
Now, Javier, in this time of racial reckoning, what are your thoughts about how Hispanic workers are being recognized or maybe not recognized for their contribution to the American economy?
It is a time of racial reckoning. It's something that's been long overdue. And I think as a nation, we're grappling with what to do and how to move forward as a United States of America. As it relates to Hispanic workers specifically, you know, our community is going to account for 80% of the new job entrants in our economy. Right now, the most employed male, adult male in America is actually Hispanic. Employment rate amongst Hispanic males is 81%. The employment rate amongst white males is 71%, and the employment rate amongst adult male African Americans is 68%. So clearly Hispanics are contributing to the greatness of this nation. We're here to work, and I think it's time that America started to recognize that we contribute to this nation that we love so much.
Now let's talk about the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of Hispanic workers are also our essential workers. Let's discuss that a little bit. Talk about their contribution to our economy and how that became even more apparent during the pandemic.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Some 19 million Hispanics are considered frontline workers. They are the ones teaching our kids. They are the ones answering that emergency call. They are the ones answering that fire alarm. They're the ones healing our sick when they arrive at the hospital. We're front and center in lockstep with the rest of America trying to make it through this pandemic. And it is our community that is at the forefront of this. We have been most impacted by the pandemic, more so than any other community, but we are rebounding, and we are, like I said, in lockstep with the rest of America, and we're going to get through this. And I believe that the Hispanic frontline workers are going to be a crucial part of our getting through this pandemic together as one nation.
Javier, do you think there are any unique challenges that the Hispanic business community faces, whether it's because of socioeconomic factors or even just the neighborhoods that they live in? Anything that comes to mind?
We don't struggle in starting the businesses. As I said earlier, we're starting businesses at a rate of 3 to 1 when compared to the general market. But what comes after, once you've launched the business, the financing, the traditional training, the networking that's necessary to really get that small business up and running and create the stability that you need to be able to grow the business. And that's where associations like ours and so many others in this country that are working collaboratively to try to help our community to find the resources, to work with the financial institutions, to get them to invest in our small companies, because together, if our community moves forward, the entire American economy moves forward.
How does the Hispanic community connect within their market and outside in ways like social media?
Well, it's funny you mentioned social media. We over-index in the use of social media, and in particular, platforms like Amazon have been amazingly useful for our community. For all American small businesses, frankly, Amazon has been a boon for the growth of those small businesses. And when you dissect the Hispanic business community specifically, we have been the benefactors of an amazing platform. It is easy to use, and frankly, they've been very helpful in terms of getting our businesses not only up and running, but maintaining them and actually growing them. A platform like Amazon has been a godsend to the Hispanic business community.
Javier, we have to wrap it real quick. What can we do as a community to better support local Hispanic businesses? Well,
let me tell you, Utah's already done so much for the Hispanic community at large, and Utah is going to play a very important role in the United States Hispanic Business Council. In fact, our chairman, the top dog, the guy that makes the decisions and makes the calls for our association, is from Utah. Don Salazar started a company here called CTI Construction, and he volunteers his time and talent as chairman of the board. Additionally, our general counsel, Mr. Troy Rollins, is district attorney for Davis County, Utah. So arguably the two top and most important posts in our association are held by men that call Utah home. So the Beehive State is going to have a very important role in the development and the growth of the United States Hispanic Business Council.
Javier, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Rosie. Appreciate it.